So today we've got an issue with the Peugeot Partner. Wouldn't start, so when you leave it overnight, you crank it over in the morning, won't fire up. I had a look and found there to be air ingress in the main fuel feed pipe into the pump. Got a big air bubble in there, so when I pump up the filter primer, you can see the air bubble tracking back down the pipe. So I've had a look and I've got a bit of residue underneath the manifold. Looks like I might have a fuel return pipe that's maybe got a little crack in it, or it's leaking in some respect, which is causing the air to trace back through the fuel system, giving us this airlock. So it's a real pain. I've got to take the manifold off the top. Can't get at it else. So let's strip it down and see what's going on. So looking at this, we've got some Allen key bolts holding this plastic manifold on. We've got the EGR recirculation. We've got to get rid of that clip there. Hopefully we can get that back on again. That's going to be a little issue, I think, but we've got to get that off. That's got to come out of the way. And breather pipe on the end there again. We've got to do something with this clip, get rid of the clip. But let's crack on. Let's crack on. Clip off of there. Just move that out of the way. That's that loose now. Hopefully we'll get that back on again. We'll get rid of this air pipe on here as well. These are a 7mm head. We'll just move that out of the way. And breathe the pipe out of the way. Get rid of that. 5mm. Well, Winifred, let me just bring you in on those just to show you where they are. And the two down the top are just down there. The ones on the back are 5mm. These must be 6. Yeah. So I'll just spin those bolts out of there. Whiz them out. They are a bit fiddly to get at, but if you've got a magnet, extendable magnet, you can just pop that down and scoop them out like that. Great bit of kit. Same again with the other side. Crack it off, wind it out, stick the magnet down and just pull it up so we can find it. There we go. Oh, there she goes. Good old magnet, just to grab hold of these bolts so we don't lose them. One and one there as well. God, is it just me, or do these bolts seem like they're taking forever to get out? I know I should put the airline in. Use the air ratchet next time. Oh, bingo! That took a bit of tugging. And what we've got under here now is
like we said, it's the little vacuum pipe there, and this. So on the end here, the glow plug wiring is all bolted to the manifold, just to make things a little bit more awkward. But just prop that up out of the way, which should be good enough for us to get in and have a look at what we want to look at. Okie dokie. So what have we got? What have we got going on here? There must be a small air leak somewhere. So the only injector that's wet with diesel is the first one here. Is this first one. Now all you can see on there is that it's damp. You can see it's damp. The others are dry. These ones are all dry. This first one is damp. The favourite for me here is this braided rubber hose covered with the braided outer. These are notorious for perishing, and you can even see on this the joiner there, where the splitter, it's damp and wet, and if I put my finger underneath it, you can actually see that it's got just got a fuel residue on it. So I'm thinking that this is the culprit. This braided pipe is perishing and causing us issue. So let's change that, and hopefully that will sort this problem out. All the others are made of these rubber hoses, and they all look crack on. And I know there's a lot of oil on the block from the cam cover, but I say it's a lot. It just looks worse than it is. There's no diesel there though. The only diesel issue looks like it's coming from this braided hose on the end, which is pretty good news. So let's get that changed. Okay, so I've got a new piece of bleed off pipe there, or diesel return pipe. It's this braided stuff. Like you can see, it's braided on the outside with a rubber interior in it. It's not as good as the original stuff, but this is all you can really buy now to replace it. So let's get this on. So first of all, let's pull it off just literally took these off. They're just pressed on, so it's off the injector side there, and then we've got the clip there. We'll pull it off that splitter too there. There it is, it's off there. I can't see any signs of cracking, but there's clearly something going on with it. So we've got the old piece and the new piece. We'll just line those up, snip that off to length. We'll press that onto the injector there. Make sure that's all the way down. And then same with this return on here, we'll push that all the way on. Make sure it's right up to the end. Okay, so that's on there now. So what I'll do now, that's all off, is I'm going to prime this up again. I'm going to give it a real good pump and see if we can see any leaks or anything going on. down there. So I'll just pump that primer, get some fluid, get some diesel around this system, checking for leaks. Right, let's pop it all back together. So just check these rubber seals, they're all pretty good. Obviously they're going to go back in where they came from. So let's rotate this round. We've got to put that vacuum pipe back on. Back onto that there. Lovely, lovely. Open that way. Certainly goes back in easy more it come off. So, like I say, the awkward one could be this little EGR clip. Let's see how it goes. Oh, you little gem. You little gem. She just slips back on. Oh, I'm loving that. I thought that was going to be the one. I thought that was going to be the little monkey. Oh, let's get these back in again. Oh. Right. Let's bolt down this manifold again. So these first two, they're right on the top there, they're on the back. One. Let's get those other two started as well. One. Two. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4. That. Do these Jubilee clips up. And then last but not least is this other clip here. And then this breather one. Let's see if we can reconnect this hose clip as well. If not, I'll just replace it with a normal Jubilee clip. There she is. Beautiful. That all looks pretty good. Oh, I can see me there. Right, so let's come up a bit. What we've got is a non-return valve. I'm going to fit this just as a precaution, and what it will do, it only blows one way, or it only allows flow of fluid one way. So if I haven't sorted that air leak, it'll stop the fuel tracking back and creating this bigger airlock in the pipe. Brilliant bit of kit. Used it many times, or used this sort of thing many times on these diesel issues, because they can be a real pain to find. If it's just a tiny little pinhole in a pipe on a return side, it's a no pressure side, and you can't find it. So this is going in, and it will stop, like I say, it'll stop
overnight that tracking back of fuel out of the pump. It's like a siphon effect, creating that airlock inside the pump which stops it starting. Let's whack it in. It's gonna go. This is the pipe from the filter down to the pump, so this is the one we need to pop it in. So I'm going to cut the pipe, we're going to pop it in there in line, and that should sort this problem out. Alright, so first things first, let's see how much we've got to take out of that. So we're going to go in. It's going to be a little bit fiddly to get it in there, but not the end of the world. I'm going to go right below that. It's going to go right off that connector there, and we're going to stick it in down to there. We've got plenty of room to do it. Putting the bottom Jubilee clip on might be a little bit tricky. This is 8mm in diameter, and that's hopefully going to be the same as what that is. It looks about the same. So we push the two tabs together, whip that off of there, get that a quick wipe. We don't want to get diesel everywhere. And how much have we got? Oh, we've got loads to look. We can pull that right up now, which is giving us lots of pipe to work with. So like I say, that is going to go in there, and we want to chop that back to just about there. So let's whip that through there, get rid of that, get hold of both sides. I can do it so you can see it. Oh, that's tight. Here we go, let's just go for it. Oh, bingo. Right. So now we have one piece of pipe that is going to go onto that. It won't go inside it, it's going to go on the outside of it with a piece of joiner pipe, and the same with this one here. So we need to just take out the size of that pretty much. If I'm going to go up to the, almost up to the end there, I'll take it off to there. We'll have rid of that, which leaves us with that little fella there. So let me go and get some pipe that will join the two together and a couple of clips. Okay, so we've got a piece of joiner pipe. We've got that stub there which we need to go on the filter housing. We're going to shove that over there and get that right up to the top if we can. It's going to be tight. Let's just turn it. That's close enough. We've got plenty in there. And we've got a hose clip to go down onto that. Okay, so that's up nice and tight. That's going to have no problems. And now we need to get that valve stuffed in there as well. The end of that is there. We need enough to get that all the way in, so we're going to go down to about there, I think, just to give us a bit to play with. Cut that off of there. Make sure we get the valve the right way around. So that's on there. The fluid is travelling downwards, which is that way around. Just by blowing in it we can tell that. We need to get another hose clip on there. So I've got another clip on now. And then that is going to go on there like that. And then we'll whip that one up as well. Okay, that's the first part complete. Now we've just got to do the same thing again on the other half. So we're going to get that on there. Like that, and then that we're going to stuff that on there. Just need to get another couple of hose clips. Okay, same again. Let's get them all the same way around so they look pretty.
That's that one in. Lovely. And then the last but not least, which is most probably going to be the most difficult one because it's a bit slippy slidey. But let's get this up here like that, and then slide that on and get that all the way down as far as it will go. Which is down to there, and get that pointing the right way. A little bit more. Okay, and then we'll do that last one up. Okay, there we have one return valve in the fuel line that's going to stop anything coming back causing us problems with air leaks. So let's tuck all that lot back down there. Get that connected back up to the filter. Make sure it's right on like that. Make sure that lot's all out of the way, not catching on anything. And then we'll pump it up. There we go, that's gone nice and firm. So there we have it. We've replaced the pipe that was slightly porous on the injector returns. I've put the one-way return valve into the main fuel feed to the pump to stop any kind of tracking back if there is any air getting in anywhere else. Hopefully that's going to sort us problems out. So we'll give it a crack and wait and see what happens tomorrow morning. But I'm pretty confident now. I can't see any other reason why it shouldn't start. The non-return valve can be used for issues where you're getting air ingress. Sometimes the pump, the diesel injector pump, if the seal on the front of the pump wears slightly, although you're not getting any diesel leakage, you can get air ingress into there. By putting this valve in again, when the engine's switched off, it stops that siphon effect and it stops it trying to pull air from the pump. So it will cure a lot of problems. Well worth the £3 it was off eBay. If that's been of any use to you, please drop me a comment, like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.